G'day, Ross Lyon.
Good, Brad. Carl.
Upbeat, raring to go.
Yeah.
Just tapering this. Hey, Ross, I was just thinking today. How early do you let the players? Do you have a prerequisite? What you like to let players know early in the week who possibly they could be matched up on, or whether they or do you like to leave it later?
Rarely talk to them. Even Ryan, I'll probably give him 2 or 3 to look at, and it'll be no different this week. And finalise it. There's times it's been when Ryan walks in the day of the game. Tend to leave it later rather than earlier, occasionally early. All depends. Stokes was really the day of the game, or the night before. So, and then the others, I tend to leave them alone. We tend to focus on ourselves, get our own training right, get our own game plan right. For the first half of the week and the second half of the week, focus on the opposition and then train how we want to play.
And Stokes, sorry, mate, but Stokes might have been on the day of the game, but it changed pretty quickly on the day of the game too, Ross.
Yeah, you got to be nimble, adapt and improvise. So, we don't always get it right. Sort of try and get it right the majority of the times. But Ryan had a great capacity to shift opponents, and with the help of his teammates, did a good job.
Did you go to the game, or who did you send a posse?
No, I didn't go. I took training. Peter Sumich and myself stayed. And, 4 coaches went over, Kirk, Stone, Lloyd and Pryor. So, and they split the teams, and it's a good effort by them. It's a long trip over to Sydney and back, but it's a small price to pay. So, but we got behind the goals vision and broadcast. And I feel like we know them. Probably watched about 3 games behind the goals now on them, and got a good feel how they go about it.
Could you answer me this then? Who was playing on McVeigh? Was it Jimmy Jess, the ghost?
Well, I think they had Bird coming from outside the square to tag, and McVeigh then spat out. And so ultimately he was on a wing, and I don't think too many went near him. But look, he's an elite player. He's a great general organiser and gets it done on the big stage. So I thought their midfield was outstanding. Kennedy, Jack, McVeigh, Hanbury. And their rucks were outstanding.
But 20 possessions, Ross, wouldn't you have somebody in, I know you look at the data as it goes anyway, but wouldn't you have somebody in the thing just tapping you on your shoulder saying, McVeigh, 7, McVeigh, 8, McVeigh, 9?
Yeah, that happens. You have an alarm go off at X amount, but I'm sure Mick would have sent a message. Sometimes you send messages and players don't adhere to the instructions. So, and then Lady went behind the ball in that quarter and racked up a few. So he would have been pointed out. But, with all the interchanges and messages, it might have got lost somewhere along the line.
Now, one thing, Ross, is that even though they do have a couple of injuries, we saw Mitchell go down and we've seen Tippett go down, the blokes that did the damage, McVeigh, Kennedy, Hanbury, Jack, Ryan O'Keefe and Luke Parker, and another young kid who has really come into play is Shane Biggs. He's only played a couple of games, but I'll tell you what, he doesn't look out of place on the big stage either.
No, you're right. I think a lot's been made of their injuries, but they've got a couple, but we've proven you have a few and you can... They're the reigning premiers. They've finished second on the ladder. And they've had one bad half, and people tend to be writing them off. So we understand, look, it's going to be won and lost in the midfield. You just went through it all. So our midfield's going to have to stack up. They run really well. They play Subiaco really well. And at the end of the day, we're going to have to get first hands on the ball, and they'll test us both ways. We'll ask some serious questions of them, like we did at Geelong. But I'll ask some strong questions of us also.
Ross, when Hawthorn got hold of them in that first final, I counted 11 different personnel going into the centre bounce downs for Hawthorn. Have you got 11 that can go in there just to keep them guessing? Because they tended to stay with the tried and true. And, if you can got 11 genuine blokes, I know you've got plenty of midfielders, but if you've got 11 that can go through there, it just confuses them a little bit of who they've actually got and when they spread and who they go to and the like. Yeah,
it can break the chain. We haven't got probably as many we've put through there. We can do a little bit more of it, but just through injury we've become more flexible, like, Hill and Mzungu can play at half-back and Subin, they can go through the midfield. So we are more flexible out in this force through adversity than we were. And, the ball can go through the midfield and Walters. So we can change it up, and that's something we'll look at.
One thing that has been impressive for me anyway is that the growth of Mike Pike and his danger in a contested marking situation. He's really improved in that area, so you're going to have to make sure when he goes forward that the boys are on their game and make sure they get that fist. Zach Dawson obviously been brilliant, best puncher in the league, but he's been really good for them.
He's significant, Pike, and they're taking Warnock forward last week and doing some ruck slides, so... But Pike can really catch the ball. I think he's taking the most contested marks. Everyone talks about Tippett. I think he was only averaging 1 goal a week over his last 4 games. So I don't think they'll miss him too much. Pike's taking the most contested marks in the forward 50. So you're spot on. He's got great athleticism and he's an amazing story when you think about it. So we're going to have to be on our guard there.
And White plays better without Tippett in the side too, I would have thought. But what about the big three, mate, that were probably teetering on the edge to be able to play against Geelong down at Geelong? Are they going to be back?
Who's that?
Oh, well, Johnson, Subin, Ibbotson.
Well, Johnson, yeah, we're pretty confident there. Who else?
Ibbotson, you said no, he's no good.
Pearce, definitely not, and Ibbetson's trying to get up, but it's more unlikely at this stage.
Well, it's interesting. Do you think that they play similar football to you? I mean, I've heard the Swans players remark that they play similar. You play a similar style to them. Do you think that's the case?
Yeah. I think without the ball, we do.
Yeah.
But I think with the ball, they're the longest kicking team. Centre forward, they really go long and strong with all their mids and crummers streaming in, you know. So they're low short kicks and high long kicks and high front and square team. And, you know, the slingshot footy, high handball around congestion. If they can get a kicker, they'll go long and try to beat you back into space. So they've got a distinct style and it stands up under pressure. So we're under no illusions. There's been a lot of opinion pieces and a lot of headlines written, but we understand we're going to have to prepare and play to the highest order to give ourselves a really big chance of winning this game. There's a lot of water to flow on the bridge yet. It's going to go to the wire. It's going to be incredibly tough, and we're going to have to play at our very best from start to finish to get what we're after.
They showed their quality in class, didn't they, when they went 2 men down early, and the way they ran in that third quarter to set themselves up for victory. And, you know, I reckon they eased off a bit at the end to save some gas, but that was just super impressive, that period of play.
Yeah, it was significant, wasn't it? And I don't think it surprised anyone. They said they'd bounce back, and look, they're the reigning premier. You know, they'll come in. They love playing over here, so... Look, we're up for the challenge, but it's a massive challenge. So, you know, they shone through adversity, but now, you know, we respect them. But again, like Geelong, if it bleeds, you can kill it. So, you know, we're really pretty keen to sort of get the game on. So we're staying focused on fixing our own footy and preparing really well and acknowledging it's a really exciting time, but. Talk and emotion and feeling doesn't get it done. The only thing that counts for us is action.
Only a sideshow, Ross, but I was watching, no doubt you would have been too the other night, and the commentators are doing their job, and they're saying, oh, well, they'll have to charter a plane because I need to get back if they're going to be... I'm thinking to myself, hang on a minute, they haven't won the game yet. Did you get
well, obviously, they're confident, they're the reigning premier, and look, that's something they've got to worry about. It's not something for me. I've got headaches myself, you know.
Hey, speaking of that, what did you think? I don't know if you read the Sunday Times on the weekend, but they got the Hayden Ballantyne masks in there, and they're plastered all over our office today. Some of the girls have got his lips cut out and all that sort of stuff. Ross, he's been defaced so much around our office today. It's unbelievable.
Well, no, I didn't get the paper. Someone mentioned the mask. They tried to show me one at work, but it sort of got lost in translation somewhere. So, well, we love him. He's passionate, and I'm sure he'll turn up on the weekend and play with passion. Hopefully they're screaming for him and not against him.
And, of course, you said you were going to refer to your notes from yesteryear when you coached St Kilda in prelim finals. How did you end up handling it, that session across the weekend, and what will you do this week? Are you because obviously you haven't not played that much footy over the past month.
Well, Brady's ground was underwater, wasn't it, Ross? You had to move training to a secret location.
Yeah, I know about secret. I think it was the only one available. Well, unfortunately, Argentina was playing, so we couldn't get on Patterson. But we went up to Joondalup and trained, so the surface was really good. It was not similar conditions to like tonight. So we put them through a really tough session. They worked, you know, we rate our sessions out of 10, so the players were rated at 6, 7 out of 10. It was wet and windy, and quite abnormal weather like this. So we worked them really hard. Players weren't in today. They'll come in tomorrow. They'll do a solid, we call it T1. And then on Thursday they'll have their final training session, final meeting Friday, and then get ready to play. So what we learned at the Saints, 09, we probably come in against the Bulldogs in the prelim first quarter. They jumped us and a bit under. So 010 we learned to work them harder, and we used that as a bit of a guide. But Jason Webber, our sports performance coach, had a strong view, and it really married up actually how hard we decided to work. So it was very much team trained. So yeah, we gave them a hard time on Saturday, but the group was really enthusiastic and vibrant, as you could imagine. And it's probably fortuitous that it was wet and windy, because I think it might be like that on the weekend. So it's going to stand us in good stead.
Was that the night when Rewalt fainted?
You haven't got your doggy jumper on. Although I did see you take it off and wave it around once.
Well, don't worry, I waved it around that night too. He fainted. He fainted.
Yeah, all I had to do was kick straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a game of inches, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they said about they were targeting him going in, so I think if you target people going in, you probably get your right whack in the end, don't you?
Yes, but some people were accusing you of doing that down at Geelong, weren't they? But I don't think you were doing.
Well, I put them in their place, didn't I?
Yeah, we're glad you did.
Yeah. Look, it's a game of inches. Prelims are incredibly hard to win. So look, we're in there with a show. We've got an opportunity, and we just want to bring our best effort and prepare really well and see where that takes us.
We think it'll take you all the way, at least to the grand final, Ross. We thank you for your time. We wish you well, and we look forward to talking to you next Monday.
Cheers, bro. Appreciate it.